Good morning. How are you? Oh, it's already really warm up here above the garage. Come on in. Welcome to the SHAC. Nice to have your company. Are you there? I hope you're there. I hope I'm not on my own in the heat. Actually, it's best to stay indoors when it gets this hot. It was very warm yesterday too, wasn't it? Best time of year to be in Hawaii. Well, yeah, it is actually. Wish we were there. Well, we are. Come on in. Come on in. Early days today. Too hot to be outside, isn't it? Much better indoors, pretending we're in Hawaii. Hey? Lovely to have your company. Bring your tea, bring your coffee. Drag a chair in. We could always sit outside in the shade if you prefer. Day 3 in Hawaii. Do you know the thing is in Hawaii, it rains a lot. It really does. You know, it's like English weather. They always say, if you don't like the weather in Hawaii, just wait a minute. It rains a lot in the mornings, and so it's like a sprinkler system, and it just and it sprinkles all over the islands, and then by 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, it's just beautiful blue skies and Mill Pond Ocean, the Pacific. Yeah, it's glorious. I highly recommend it. And that's why we're there this week with the old SHAC tours. Come on in. I bet there aren't so many of us today, hey? So right, today we're going to do palm trees. When you think of Hawaii, what do you think of? Well, it's sort of stereotyping the island. There's lots of lovely, beautiful stuff in Hawaii. But what do you think of? Go on, get your old creative juices going. Turtles, whales, palm trees, pina colada. Come on in. Stuart's with us today. He's in the room with you, and he'll be happy to answer any of your questions. Oh, I've got some hair in my eye. He'll be happy to answer any of your questions, if you have any. And how are we progressing? It's been quite a nice tropical couple of weeks actually. First the hummingbirds and all that loveliness, and now Maui. Hey? Cool. Wouldn't it be lovely if you could just click your fingers and be there? But there you go. You can in your mind's eye. Just click your eyes, close them, and there you are. A lot cheaper, a lot safer. Yeah. Not that big a difference really, if you use your imagination. It's a lot faster, a lot quicker, a lot cheaper, eh? No. But today we're going to learn how to doodle palm trees, and I've been looking up some of the Polynesian sort of the tribal patterns, you know, because when we went to Japan there were some gorgeous patterns, weren't there, the textiles, and then Africa and New Mexico, and I thought, well, I bet the Polynesians have got beautiful, and they do, they really do. So I thought we'd weave some of them into the borders as well. Really beautiful, because some of you like doing that kind of Zentangly work, others of you like drawing pictures, others of you like colouring, and some of you like everything. I like everything. I like a mix. I do. I like a mix. So let's see, what's the time? It's 9:59. Stuart says the sound is good, which is always my biggest concern. So there we are. Come on in. How are you? How are you? How are you? Apparently we can huddle up a bit better now. 1 metre, is it? Yeah. I don't know what to say to that, really. Certainly with my family, you know, or with my closest. But I don't know if I'd want to get that close to strangers yet. I don't know. I think, you know, I think that we got such a shock in March and April. I can only speak for myself, but this is how it has been for me. I got such a shock in April and March that the walls come up a little bit, and it maybe has with you as well. My caution wall is right up, you know, and so I'm not so quick to dive back, you know. Maybe it's age creeping up on me, but I'm just a little bit cautious. I think I've got a healthy fear, or maybe it's unhealthy. What do I know? But my intuition says, let's just watch and see, and let's just wait, you know, doodle a bit more, hang out here. Good morning, come on in. It's 1 minute past. We must get going. We've got so much to do in Hawaii today. Welcome to the SHAC. Safe, happy and creative. Stay home and craft. That's right. How is everybody? Be interesting to see the numbers today, you know. But the thing about this is, you know, many of you have to go back to work, or you're out now in the gardens, and some of you yesterday were asking on Facebook whether we're going to stop this doodling, the SHAC. And, you know, I believe that many of you, and I'll include myself in this, although I've got a lot on at the moment, but that's secondary. I think many of you still enjoy this. Many of you still benefit from this, from what I'm hearing. And when I get the sense that you don't need it anymore, then I'll wind it down, you know. But for the moment, I still feel that many of you are still enjoying this and getting a lot out of this every day. It's an hour in the morning, and it just gives you that structure, doesn't it? You know. And if you, like me, are still a little reticent about going out there in the big wide world again, you know, then maybe it's okay to hang out a little bit longer. Let's just take it one day at a time, shall we? And today we're in Hawaii. Well, where are you actually? I'm in the southeast of England, above my garage, and the sun is shining, and if I looked into the sky, I could say I'm in Hawaii, because there's not a cloud in the sky, and the trees are just swaying gently in the breeze, just like the palm trees. The only thing missing is the Pacific Ocean outside my back door, but that's okay. I've got an imagination. And if I want to cool off, I can go and have a shower. To close your eyes. We have an amazing mind. It can transport us wherever we want to go. Just remember that. Now, let's have a look, shall we, at what we did yesterday, because we're building our scene, aren't we? Are you ready to go? Have you got your pencil? We might do a little bit of penning today, eh? Because yesterday we had quite a good day, didn't we? Let's have a look. What did we do yesterday? We did, oh yeah, well the first day we just set the scene, didn't we? And we got our photos sorted, and aloha. All right, so we got aloha. Yesterday we did our bamboos. We learnt how to do our hibiscus. Did you do a couple of them in there? I like them. That was easy, wasn't it? That was really easy. And then we did our, look, we did our hibiscus, didn't we, with a circle. We did our continuous flowers like that. Mahalo. A hooey hoo. What did that mean? Until we meet again. A hooey hoo. Right, I love the language too. So what we wanted to do today, and I've worked on tracing paper on a vellum just so that I can show you. It's easy for me then to progress, you see. So I thought today what would be really nice would be to tackle one of our photos. And it's art, it's not a photo. So it's okay for me to pop out of the frame a little bit, isn't it? So I thought we'd tackle the one at the front. And then we'd have a look at some of these beautiful tribal patterns. So let's have a look. First of all, can you see the palm trees? Let's have a look up close. They're really easy. I'll show you. It's a piece of cake. Right, so there's your palm tree. We know how to make the little boat. We've done the boat before. Now let's have a look at the patterns. So clearly you're going to get that ocean pattern, aren't you? It's in a lot of things, that curl, that kind of tidal curl. And then there's those arrows in the middle, which I really like, and the weave I like the weave down the bottom. So there are 3 different kinds of patterns that I thought we could have a little tackle. Try those and that, and then the rest is easy. Okay, so how do you feel about that then? Are we good with that? I reckon that'd be fine. It's only 10:05. Right, ready? Limber. Before it gets too hot, you know, I think we did the right thing starting at 10 o'clock in the mornings. Just gives you enough time to have your cornflakes, you know, clean your teeth, get limbered up for your lovely Zen mental yoga, hey? And it's just early enough that it's not too hot. Be a bit extreme today. Yes, here we go. So the first thing I was thinking, you know, because obviously we want to keep it quite simple. It's supposed to be a pleasure and a joy and not a labour. Everybody ready? I think we need a ruler. Now, do I want a ruler with... Oh, they've both got a groovy grip on. All right, I'll use a ruler with a groovy grip. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Right, I'll do that one there. And then I need my HB pencil, bush, or my H pencil. I can see in a minute I'm going to have to change channels, look. The reason I use the HB is because everybody's got an HB. But the H is good too. H for hard. Right. HB is the sort of bog standard one, isn't it? Right, that'll do. Okay, so what I thought would be the good idea, if you look at this, let's have a look, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. Because these are just little, you know, listen, there are no experts in this building. You've heard me say it before. But when you look at that, you think, holy moly, there's a lot of white to cover still, yeah? And what I wanted to explain was that if you put a frame around here, you watch that get vastly reduced to just these 3. So what we're working on is bringing the frame in. So what I did was, this is just a card making tip really, right? If you have a look, let's take the ruler, and you'll see that yesterday, let's just have a look at the bottom and you'll understand, because it'll be the same all the way around. So if we just look at the bottom line, the other 3 follow, okay? When we looked yesterday, you know that we put, you know what, it's so hot in there, my tracing paper's curling. I'll tell you what, it'll be more curling by 2 o'clock this afternoon. Right, so that is there, like so. Okay, so we've done that one, haven't we? And then what I want you to do is go in on the ruler, on the 1/2 centimetre, right? So you're going to go in and make a line in from the top one, like this, watch. So first of all, on your Pergamano ruler, it's one of those lines in. There you go, like so. And then let's just make our frames, right? And then when you get to the bamboo, you go past, don't you? So that's that one there. Piece of cake, look. So that's the one that's going to have this in it, this piece here, right? Then we've got a white line. Then we've got another pattern, then we've got another white line, then we've got another. So watch this. We're going to make this is what you're going to do. You make that line. I'm going to turn this round because it's easier. Let me just take my tracing paper off. It's easier to do this when you can see what you're doing. So what we want now, let me see if I put this one here. I think you can, if I put that behind a piece of white copy paper, then you'll probably get it. Right, so what we've got now in here, we're going to make this line, this one here, right? So that is this area here, right? Then we need a little white divider. Otherwise, what happens is if you don't give yourself a little divider, the patterns all kind of go into one another. There you go. So now I've got a little divider. I've made a little divider. That's this line here, right? Let's see, because I've come round here. So that's that. Then I've got another one of those, all right? So I'm going to turn this round. Then I've got another one of those 1/2 centimetre jobbies. And that's for the next pattern. When I get to any images, then I just cut across like this. What we'll do today, we'll concentrate on one line. And then what you can do, when it cools off this evening, what you can do is then go all the way round, because this will really vastly reduce everything. You know, it vastly reduces the amount of fill that you've got to deal with, right? And don't worry about the overlap. You saw that, it's all pencil. Right, so now we want another gap. You see, you want another little gap. So again, just give yourself a little tiny air passage like that. Just a little air passage, just a little breather. It's as wide as you want it to be. Or when a bit too, I might make that a little bit wider, because that's not busy, that's not going to work. That'll do, like that. That'll do. So I just want to make that a little bit wider. I went off pieced. Yeah, okay. Scrap that. Cool, you would think that this was the easy bit, wouldn't you? How are you doing anyway? You all right? I wish we could talk. That would help. Let's use this pencil. Right, get my head out of the way. Right, that one, that one, that one. I'll make that little airway a little bit bigger. There you go. Mind aloha. Right, that'll do. Okay. So now I've done that one. So let's go back to our original. I've done the pattern for that one. I've done the breather for that one, and now I need the breather for the next one. So all it is 3 of the same. Do you get what I'm saying? So now I'm going to put the next one over the top. It's a lot easier when you do it like this to build it up. It's a lot easier than you make a plan and then you work your way, you build your patterns in, rather than decide what patterns you want, get going, and then realise you didn't leave the little air gaps. They just open up. They just open up the patterns really nicely, look. Right, and also don't forget we've got loads of space in the back. There you go. So across there, cut through, nice. Got it? So that means this one here is for this one here is for this, and this one here is for that. And you've still got your border along there too. Get it? So that will sit in there just like that, like a treat. Like a glove. Okay? Easy. And it's logical, it's easy for you to understand. When you're doing busy patterns next to each other, you often want a little gutter, a little airway. So now we've done that, right, it's a little bit of a measuring game. I would say we'll start along the bottom first. What's the time? Right, we've done that, yeah. Let's stick to the patterns for a minute. Let's do one pattern, then we'll do a palm tree, then we'll come back to another pattern. How's that? This one's really easy. This one's really easy. So what I'll do is I'll come in real tight. Let me just get up on my little perch and come in tighter. That's better. So now you can see much better what the pattern actually looks like from above, can't you? See? Like so. So what we'll do is, there's a little bit of measuring going on. You need your ruler, centimetre rulers. This is good. If you know, the centimetre ruler works for me. But you can work it out for yourself. If I'm working on a centimetre, then you're working on just over ½ an inch, and that pretty much will sort you out. Okay, rule of thumb. So what we want to do now is take our ruler, and the best way to do this is do dots. Let me show you. This takes all the ache out of it. So in other words, because I'm so close now, what I want to do, watch, I'm going to start, let me see if I go from one end to the other. Right, so we'll start there. We'll start over here. We've got 1, 2, I'm all the way along the bottom now, 3, 4, 5. We're going to make little, every centimetre along here, you're going to give yourself a little dot. And that will help you a lot in a minute. Honest, Gov. Right, so you're going to do dot, 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 all the way along, okay? Right. Cool. That wasn't too hard, was it? Right, so then turn the whole gig round like that. And when you're coming back the other way, because what we want to do, in effect, what we want to do is a zigzag, zigzag. So what we've got to do now is work out the dot here. That's all. So the easiest way to do that now is to take your centimetres again, where they were before, and shift them along one. So, for example, if that's your, you can do it over here. If you want to get, look, you can just shunt it along. So then that's that. So now you're going to go in between the two. Do you see? So that's that. So you know that's still straight, like so. Let's get that right. That's it. And now you're going in between, like that. Does that make sense? Can you see that okay? Yeah, it's obvious, isn't it? So you go like that, like that. And then you're going to go in between. Right, and then we'll add those dots along our... Excuse my head in the way. It's because I'm so close to the camera. Excuse me. I wonder if that camera would work better. Yeah. Okay. So now I can see, because I'm leaning in on the artwork, see? So then I'm going to go all the way along to that end. As far as the corners go, you can be creative, or you can just... I'm just going to do this border, and then I'm going to do those two, and I'm not going to worry about the edge. I've got enough on my plate without worrying about corners right now. And this is going to be so beautiful and busy, you're not going to worry about the corners. So now the next thing you want to do, and this is whether or not you use a ruler or you can use your hands, right? But basically what we're going to do now is we're going to make a line, a zigzag, so it's going to go like that all the way along. Now, whether or not you can do that... Oh, I missed one. There you go. So I'm quite happy to go... Hang on, where are we? There we go. Like so. Cool, I'm so close, it's almost too close. Right, so now I'm going to go all the way along like that with my pencil. Okay. I just got to keep my eye on the camera as well, haven't I? Yeah, this is going to be nice, you watch. You can use your ruler, or you can use your eye, just guideline. So now what you should have is that, right? We're building it up. Then we're going to come the other way. So now you're coming this way. So all you're going to do now is put the zig in. Or the zag. We've done the zig, now we're doing the zag. There we are. It's quite a nice pattern. So we're doing it all in pencil. And then when we get to the bamboo, right, we didn't do that, did we? So I'm going to have to pretend. Bum, 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 bum. That'll do. All right, so there we go. So now we've done that. You all right with this? So what you've done, in effect, you've done that middle line. No, you haven't. You've done the outside. Right. That's it. Look along a little bit further and it will show you what you've done, because I did it progressively. See, you've done that bit now. So what we're going to do now is do two lines on this side. Oh, I'm so glad that I didn't complete it, because it's so easy to see it when you deconstruct it like this. So here, on these zigzags, you're going to do two lines there like that. That's all. Like so. Okay? Right, easy. Right, in we go. Always on this side. So you just do two like that, and then off we go again. This would be so nice to pen in a minute, won't it? You get your two in, get your eye in, and then just relax into it. I think that's what this is all about, really. once again, I woke up very anxious this morning. I'm not sure what is going on with me at the moment. You know, we talked about it yesterday, didn't we, about the subconscious. I said, you know, it's a powerful thing, and you can't really, you can control it to a certain extent, but I'm not sure. And I wake up and I've got terrible chest pains, and I think, oh, what's going on now? And it takes me about an hour to talk myself down from the edge. But you know what's interesting is when we start doodling like this, as soon as we start doing this, I can feel myself just, even though I know that I've got to drive the bus, I find this very relaxing, you see. Especially because I've already done this route, so I know where I'm going. That helps as well. See, so now we've done all those ones. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come in over the top. So what we want to do now is instead of coming down on the bottom, we're going in over the top again. So let's start over here now. And what we'll do now is we'll bring in 2 on the top edge. So I'm going to turn this round because I find it a lot easier, a lot more ergonomic to do it this way around. So I'm going to just lean on something, right? And then I'm going to bring 2 in on the top. Does that make sense? So now I've done the 2 underneath, and now I'm flipping it round, and now I'm doing 2 over the top like so. Just 2 little lines. This will be lovely to pen, won't it? There we are. So let's see. Let me tell you about Hawaii. There are... How many people do you think live in Hawaii, in all the islands? I mean, there are quite a few islands. There are about 8, you know. 8 islands in the clutch of islands. Or Mark Twain, he called it the loveliest fleet of islands that lies in any ocean. And I'd have to go along with that. Although, you know, I haven't seen other islands, but it's the loveliest fleet of islands that lies in any ocean that I've seen. There you go. How many people do you think live in? You've got Oahu, Maui, Hawaii, Kauai, Lanai, Molokai. Well, some of them are not inhabited. I don't think Molokai is inhabited, but I stand corrected if I'm wrong. I think Molokai is the one that's like a sort of like a crescent moon. We went snorkeling there and swam with the turtles. Yeah, we did. 1.4 million people, permanent residents. 1.4 million. It's the 50th state. Alaska's the 49th US state. And it became, I know it became the 50th state because it happened in the year of my birthday, 1959. That was when Hawaii became the 50th state in the United States. There you go. So we've done all that now. Interestingly, when we were in Lahaina, let's just have a look here. So what we want to do now, check it out, right? We're going to, once we've done that, you know, like in these ones, we put in little breather zones. Well, what we're going to do now is put the breather zone in after the fact. It's only so in other words, now we're putting a line in there. See, so what we've done is we've created the illusion of a weave. That's what I've tried to do anyway. So what I'm going to do now is go along. I'll do it freehand. I'm just going to go along inside the triangles like that. Look. Hang on, I haven't done these ones. Let me just think for a minute. So it's these ones that I haven't. It's the ones behind the palm tree. Not palm tree, bamboo. So that needs to go like that. That needs to go like that. And then that needs to go like that. Yeah, so when we were in Lahaina, as we were walking along Front Street, like the main drag, we could hear these bagpipes. And I thought, well, you don't expect to hear bagpipes, do you, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean? I thought, how interesting. And we looked up, and it was actually, I don't know if you know you'll know Fleetwood Mac. I'm sure you've heard of the name Fleetwood Mac. Well, Mick Fleetwood, he was a member of the band. He's opened a restaurant. He got it right, right? He moved to Maui, and he's got a restaurant in a beautiful restaurant, really nice grub, really nice food, in Maui, and it's called Fleetwood. Anyway, so every night, because it's got like open dining on the roof, every night there's a guy, it's a Scottish fella, and he's got the full gear on in that heat, can you imagine? And he plays the bagpipes every evening. And so on this particular evening, we booked a treat for the family and that, and we went to Fleetwood for the evening for a really nice meal. We sat upstairs, so we were listening to the Scottish guy telling us about why he was there, really. So it turns out, this is quite comical. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of it, you know, I'm no historian, but it turns out that the islands were under siege. They were being attacked by, I don't know, the Russians. And so it was a kingdom before it became a state. And so the king or the queen at the time, what they did was they put a Union Jack in their flag. They just added a Union Jack into their flag and pretended that they were allied with us lot, because they thought, you know, they'd align themselves with some beefier friends. And so they just took out Union Jack, didn't ask. They just put the Union Jack on the flag. And so I think it was the Russians actually. They just assumed, oh right, okay. It's not just a bunch of little Polynesian natives. It's like the Great British Empire. So you're going to think twice, aren't you, about that? I think this is funny. And do you know what? Here's the news. It worked. It worked. They left them alone. For ages, for like 50 or 60 years, they thought, no, we don't want to mess with the Great British Empire. And so the Hawaiians, there's one of the British then found out about this and was highly amused and thought it was brilliant. And therefore, even today, when you look at the Hawaiian flag, there's got nothing to do with them, but there's still the little the Union Jack in the corner. Isn't that great? Yeah. I thought that was amusing, that they did that. Didn't ask, just went ahead and did it. And I thought, 10 out of 10. So have you got that lovely woven? Have you got that lovely woven pattern now? And when we pen it, what we can do is, when you get to these bits, you see, as you come down, you just come down over the edge a little bit, and then suddenly you watch, when you do this, it looks like you've woven it over the top. Look. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. So when we pen it, we'll come proud, just a little bit proud. So it's like a weave. Piece of cake. Did you enjoy that one? This is going to be lovely. And then when we do pen it, what we'll do is this bit here gets blacked in. That's the bit that gets blacked in, this triangle. And that's how you end up with this wonderful weave. Okay. Right. Okay, so I'll tell you what we'll do. I've just thought of a plan. I've got a plan. Right. So that's the first. Otherwise, it gets a bit labour intensive, doesn't it? If you're doing one pattern after another pattern after another. So we got Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. So what I want you to do today is do this pattern all the way around. Okay, so you're going to make the frame just like we did, little breather, little breather, little breather. Make the infrastructure, but then only do the weavy one all the way around the outermost edge. Then and then tomorrow is Thursday. Tomorrow we'll do the next one. And then Friday we'll do the third one. And then that way, that's what we'll do. And today, this sounds like I actually knew what I was doing. So today we'll do the out one and we'll do the bottom postcard, the first postcard. Tomorrow we'll do the second one in and we'll do the second postcard. And then the third day we'll do the other one. There you go. Boom. I feel better now. I know what we're doing. Cool. Shall we have a look? Any questions? Ask Stuart. Right, hang on a minute. Let me just get my overlay in place. That's all it is. It's just it's an overlay. In art speak, that is exactly what it is. You know, in the good old days before computers, this is how you did art with overlays. I remember doing the, blimey, I remember doing the, you know, the alphabet, the nursery rhyme alphabet, and I had great big, I did a great big poster, and I had these great big sheets of overlays, and one had the colour, one had the line art, one had the poetry. I mean, it was just like that, huge, with a light wave, I mean, we have light waves now, but it was a industrial size light box. I wonder where that light box is. I know it must be somewhere. I have to investigate. It's beautiful. It's like a big table. Where's that gone then? I'll have to ask Dave. It'll be somewhere. We wouldn't have thrown that away. It was a lovely thing, very expensive. Right, so let's have a look. What I want to do now is let's have a look at, because they look quite nice, don't they? As palm trees go. But it's quite hard when I was looking at them thinking, yeah, but how do you actually draw them? So we need to deconstruct them. And I want to show you, I did an overlay, again, on the subject of overlays, I did another overlay to show you, because if you look at them, you think, no way is that a palm tree. Because you could draw that, couldn't you? Come on, tell me you can't draw that. What does that look like? It looks like a loo brush. It looks like, what have we got here? It looks like a pair of insects, mummy and baby insect, with lots of legs. It really does, doesn't it? It looks like, what do we think? How many of that? Yeah, see, it's easy, isn't it? So what we've got is like a spatula with legs. Okay, but watch. When I lay it over the top of the palm trees, you'll see it immediately. Isn't that mad? That's it. Okay. So what you're going to do is, first of all, you're going to make a land. You want the base. You might want to bring it straight in from the postcard base, but I thought I'd make a little hill like that, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is go in here like that, and then I'm going to go up a little bit, and then I'm going to go down again, and I'm just going to keep going, and I think I'll hit the ground there. That'll do. Probably different to the last one, but it doesn't matter. Everyone's original. Doesn't matter. There you go. So I've got my hill in, you see? And then I'm going to put my palm tree in. Oh, hang on, I've got to come up a little bit. Sorry. It's easier, though, for you to see it up close, isn't it? Right. So now we're going to put the palm tree in. So I've done that. Now I want to put my shape in. Can I make a suggestion that you do this on a bit of scrap first? I do recommend, highly recommend, that you do it on a bit of scrap. Whether it's tracing paper or normal paper, it makes no odds. Yeah, look, we can use. So what you're going to do is, once you've decided where you're going to put one palm tree here, that way. Yeah, it's getting the picture grey. Right, like that. You're going to put one there and one there. So all you want to do is make sure that your palm tree, do it on a bit of scrap. because you want to know how it's going to work. Basically, you want the palm tree, start with the top of the toilet roll holder, like that. Look, not toilet roll holder, it's like the loo brush, like that. So you've got that bit, and then you're going to come down like that, aren't you? Right, so you've got that bit there, the centre part, and it comes down like so. Yeah? And then you've got another one down here, a smaller one, that's going to curl over a little bit. But start with the top of the palm tree bit like that, and bring it down like that. So that's all. It's like spoons, isn't it? It's like wooden spoons, spatulas. That's better than toilet rolls. The toilet roll's not very romantic, is it? Right? So you've got one there and one there. You've got one there and one there. And then once you've done this bit, then what we're going to do now is we're going to add our legs, right? So you need to leave a little bit of room so that you can put the leaf in afterwards. Okay? So let's do it on a bit of, right, so I've got that bit, I've got that, coming down. That was not very long. Go a bit longer if you want, Gray. Right, and then I've got another one, little smaller one. Have you got this as well? Right, then we're going to put that one there like that. Okay, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. They look great when they're done. And then what we'll do is we'll put some legs on. But the legs, they point downwards. And what you're actually doing, just so that you understand, what you're actually doing is you're adding the top part. So the leaf is always going to hang underneath, just so that you get it. What you're doing is this line here. These are the legs that you're giving it. These are the bits. This bit here. All right? So I think it helps if you know what you're drawing. So now, for example, you're going to bring in your legs over the top like this. And you can, it doesn't matter, it's random. It really is. You can bring them in longer, you can bring them in shorter. Just bring them in like this. Make sure that they always kind of droop down a little bit. See? You can make them coming down a little bit further, like so. Okay? And then this one, same thing. Just bring it down a little bit like so. Hang it down. You can make them longer, shorter. It's just about deconstructing something, isn't it? And then this bit at the top, just like that. Okay. Easy. Right, you ready? And then when you've done this bit, then what we're going to do now is we're going to go up, 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 up like that. Then we'll come again, up, 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 come in to this bit here. So come again, long at the top. I find it easiest, it looks right. You're coming in underneath, you see? Like that. There you go. Come round and just bring in the bottom bit, almost to here, like to the base of the last one. I mean, it looks like rubbish until you rub out the spatula in the middle. But when you do, you watch it come together. In like that and then down to the... So it's all about this. Up like that, look. There you go. And the thinner you make them and the more of those in-outs you do, the more authentic it looks, actually. There you go. And then that one, just do what you like up there. Right. So now, if you take your rubber now and you just take out these bits here, this bit, because it does look a bit weird, that in the middle like that. Right, so now you take that bit out and then you can just, they literally come in to a solid, that's what they do, right? So then that's it. And then the bottom is like chunkier underneath because it keeps breaking off. And that's your palm tree. When you colour that in, it'll be lovely. And then this bit here, the trunk, right? Let's look at the trunk. Let me redo that. God, did it suddenly get hot in your room? It's got really warm in here now. It's just about to start. Right, so let's say that's my palm tree. There's my ground. There you go, swaying in the wind. See, when you colour this in, you'll see that all gets blacked up, see, because it's a silhouette. Now this bit, because it does do this, it weaves like that. That's how it comes up. Can you see? So what you're doing is this, because that's how it breaks away. You know, these bits come off and they leave a scar like that, and then it's quite hairy, almost like a coconut. But that's it. That's how it, just up you go until you get into there. There you go. And some palm trees are thin from the bottom all the way up to the top, and then you could change your palm tree. Let me show you. You can do one that's quite knobbly down the bottom, so it gets fatter as it gets to the bottom. These are around as well, like, so they're really chunky at the bottom like that. They look actually less likely to fall over, right? But it's the same principle. They still look like that at the bottom. It just gets thinner and thinner as it goes up. That's quite graphically pleasing too, isn't it? It's pretty, right? So you just go like that. Does that make sense? That's quite nice, isn't it? Actually, do different ones. And then this bit here, again, if you want, you can go, right, here we go again. But what you're doing is you're adding the bit underneath. There you go. It's not hard. And if they overlap, that's great. Because they do, you know. They don't all stand in a row like soldiers. Right, in we go. If it overlaps, happy days. Long, short legs. Beautiful palm fronds. There we are. And then you take out that centerpiece. Do you know, it was interesting. The first time I went to Hawaii, the day, you know, the one where I said I lost my suitcase? Well, I didn't lose it, they lost it, but they gave me a lei to make up for it. So there I was, with me lei, but no clobber, all right? But what was interesting, right, was that I was looking at these palm trees and I thought, I didn't see it on Maui, funnily enough. I didn't see it on Maui, but when we were in Waimanalo, I noticed that on the palm trees, they had like metal plates up like there. Like they had metal bits, like bands, right? I'm not suggesting you do this. This is not really very nice, okay? Because if it was, no, you right. So they were like quite white. Don't do this. But they were like that much, big bands. And it was like a cigar band all the way around up the trees, right? And I thought, I wonder why, because I have an inquiry in mind, I wonder why in a hotel resort or you were sitting in a bar and you got all these, I thought, it's because of the rats. The rats climb up the trees to get the fruit. And so they put these big stainless steel cigar bands, and the rats can't get up that bit. They can't jump up, they can't get over that bit. So that's why they got these big bands. And I wasn't that impressed. Well, I was impressed that they came up with a solution. But you think, right, so you could be sitting in this restaurant and it could be raining rats, you know. I mean, islands, of course you are, you know. But it wasn't highlighted, you know. I had to inquire to find out, and then I wished I hadn't asked. Do you ever do that? You think, oh, I wish I didn't. Too much information. Didn't want to know that. That's kind of marred my idyllic impression of Hawaii. And you're probably thinking, I didn't want to know that. Why did she just tell me? But there you go. C'est la vie. So have you done your lovely little palm trees? Don't they look authentic so, really? Eh? And so then it's already 1:45. Golly. So they are going to get put there, aren't they? Have you done it yet? I think this is lovely. So there's your palm trees. I'm going to put them in there. Right. And then, if that's my palm trees, let's just pretend I've done my palm trees, because I did it on a bit of scrap to be sure, right? But then what I want to do is put a land in. That's easy. So this is let's just call this this is the legs or the trunks of my palm trees. There you go. Right, and then I've done that. I've done all that bit. And now I want to put the horizon in, don't I? I've got to put the horizon in, look, to put the great big beautiful sunset in. So what I want to do now is decide how far, where do you want to put your horizon? So look at your palm trees and decide how big do you want your sunset to be. I've gone about right halfway. If you look where I've gone, you'll see it's just about, if that's my, it's exactly halfway. Okay, just to give you an idea. So if it's halfway, I'm going to go there. That'll do. Right. So then I can use the ruler to make sure that the water's not on a slope, because that would be interesting. In it goes. And then I'm going to go like that and like that. I've still got to do my palm trees, yeah? Oh, right. So now I've got my water, my horizon in. And then I need my, once I've got my horizon in, yeah, then I need my lovely sun. So find something to draw around. Many of you now will be scurrying around. I tell you what I used was one of the, this is great, the fresh cut dies, the circle nests. I think it's like the second one in, yeah? And then that will sit perfectly. I could go outside and it could be massive, or I could go inside. What do I think? Let's have a look. Inside's big enough. Otherwise it's like major. That'll do. See, and what's nice is, like now, why is that sticking? So I'm going to have my palm fronds there, and then I'm going to put that in there like so. So that's going to be my sun, yeah? And then, do you remember our little boats? Do you remember we did our figure 8 boats? Should we try them again? Let's see if we can. Let's do it on a bit of scrap. I know I'm doing everything on scrap, but you understand why, surely. Right, I want to get it right. I want to make it lovely. So if that's the water, like that, okay, and that's the, let's get this right. So now I've popped the sun in. I've done a bigger one now. It's gone round the outside. Okay, that's the sun. And then we could put a couple of birds in. There you go. Voila. Oh, cooking up an atmosphere or what? You could be there, couldn't you? You could be there. Now, what we do need, though, is do we actually want all that to be oceanic, or do we want a beach? Because we could put a couple of characters in, couldn't we? Could put a couple of little beach, I was going to say beach bums. We were going to put a couple of little surfers, couldn't we? Or a couple holding hands. So why don't we, instead of, let's say that this is the water there, and now we've pushed it back a bit, haven't we? Do you see what I mean? So this is the water. This is sand. This is sand. That's water. Yeah. Otherwise, where are you going to go? It'd be a right trek to the beach. So these are the lapping. This is turquoise. This is white. And now we'll do a boat. And the way to do a boat is just do one over the side, just to get our eye in. So you're going to do a figure 8 on its side and then come up. And instead of going back round, which is what you would do, you're going to stop there. And then you'll put your little sides in. And there's your boat. Okay? So start again. You can make it bigger. You can go like that. See? And there's the front. And then if you want to put the mast in, there's your mast. And then you put sails in, do what you like, can't you? Right? So one more time. Let's do it for real. Where do we want our boat to be? I'd like my boat to be somewhere sort of in front of the sun, wouldn't you? So I'm going to, not bang in the middle though, to the left, or to the right, I'll do it over here. Right, so, isn't it funny? You go to do it for best and you think, oh, right, that'll do. So figure 8, we'll bring it down like that, like that. That's going to be the front of the boat. There's the water. Of course, it's more like a tug. God, it's 3 bodies. Right. Let's make it a little bit. That's more like it. There you go. And then we'll pop our mast in. A little bit of Maybe put a little bit of a sail up. Not much, because it's like a mill pond. He's not going anywhere. You might as well not bother. You can go like that. There we are. And then you could do a little bit of this sort of thing. You know, like the shimmer. Chooser. There you go. Nice. Oh, not into the... Silly. Like that. There you go. So you've done your little figure 8. Happy with that? Done your palm trees. And it's 10 to 11. So we've got that. We've got our palm trees. We've put our little boat in. We're going to put our water in. I'm going to put my water about there. Right. And the water is not going to be straight like a ruler. It's not the skyline. This is where the water laps in like so. Perfect. There we go. We've got our little birds like that. I definitely need to, I've got to factor in my A for Aloha. So I think I'm going to put my boat in here. My boat. Tiny. This one is. Yeah, nice. That'll do. Little sail. Perfect. Just looks funny with these without the fronds. But I will do that. I'm going to do it when we're done. And so, thus endeth, I think that'll do today. Because you've got loads of homework to do, haven't you? If you fancy doing it, I think this would be so cool. So you're going to do your palm trees. Because I know what you're like. You're like me. You probably didn't go to best with your palm trees. You've got them on a bit of paper and you're thinking, I'm going to transfer these afterwards. Same as me. Because I've already done it once, so I know it works. Okay? I know it works because I've done it. So it's tried and tested. And you can see they're going to look cool, aren't they? And then we've got our boat. I've done my boat. I've done my A. Right. So what I'd like you to do for homework, if you feel inclined, if you don't have to. But I know, and it could be like me with my jigsaw puzzles. It's like an ongoing process. It's one of those things that it's nice to have a project to go to. So that if you do get anxious or the telly's freaking you out or the news or it's too hot and you can't sit outside or you've got a beautiful shady spot in the garden underneath your umbrella and you think, do you know what? I'm going to practice my palm trees and I'm going to make that beautiful sunset photograph with great big beautiful sun and the little boat and and then what we'll do is tomorrow we'll do the second pattern. So we have to have done the first pattern. So I've got to do it as well. So we'll do the first pattern all the way around the outside. Then tomorrow we'll do the second pattern, right? And then the second postcard. I think tomorrow I was thinking I'd like to go maybe underwater. And I'm definitely going to be doing some surfboards and some turtles, and maybe if I can figure out how we're going to do it, some Hawaiian girls with grass skirts, little carrot characters with grass skirts. We'll get them in somewhere, have a bit of fun. It's all about bringing a little bit of joy to our mornings because it sets us on the right path, don't you think? You're not thinking about anything else at the moment other than these palm trees and this little figure 8 boat. And maybe you nailed it first time, last time. I've seen loads of lovely boats on Clarity worldwide over the last few weeks. And then some of you, it might have eluded you. So do you know what? Sometimes it's good to let it percolate and have another run at it. And this time you might go, that was a piece of cake. Why did I struggle with it last time? And maybe tomorrow what we could do, because by this time we'll be establishing what's at the front of the picture. So it would be really nice to do some penning, to see it in black, wouldn't it? So perhaps tomorrow, before we move on to the second border, we could do Aloha. We'll pen that because that's going to be at the front. We're not changing that. And perhaps we'll do our palm trees and our boat. And, let's do the first photo, shall we? Let's get that inked up. Yeah, I think that'd be nice. We may have to stay in Hawaii longer. We always say this. We had the same in Africa. Do you remember? When we were in Africa, we were still doing the father's robe on the Wednesday. We hadn't even started on the rest of the the panorama. It's all right. It's all harmless. It's all fun. Well, I think so. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Have a smashing day. Stay in the shade. Drink lots of water. It's important. It's important to take it easy. It's hotter than we think. We're not used to this sort of heat in this country, are we? Times are changing. Tonight, I must remember to tell you this, at 6 o'clock on Hochanda, Paul's launching a one-day special, a really nice one-day special with some fabulous dyes. It's the Pico dyes. So and it's flowers as well, flowers and leaves, and Tina's Pico flowers. So that'll be fun. Yeah, and I'm going to get ready for my Friday TV shows this afternoon. That's my job today. But enjoy yourself. When it cools down at 6 o'clock, if you get a chance to join Paul on Hochanda, then please do so. Other than that, I shall see you tomorrow morning. Don't forget, like, follow, share. Thanks, Stuart, for your help. And I shall see you soon. Lots of love. Bye-bye now.